another shit happened. Yo, this week has been weaking. Um, I am ready for tomorrow because tomorrow I am literally not gonna do shit because I am tired. I don't know if you can tell it. Somebody called me and they're like, yeah, I don't like this energy you're giving me. This is not the energy I'm used to. So call me when you're back to life because that's how much I feel like my energy has been drowned. Okay. But I could not reschedule this because we are about to talk about one of my favorite things, and that's dating and love. And it's February. Valentine's was just a few days ago, and I have the right person to have this conversation with. And it's funny because we recently just connected on Instagram, like literally 2 days before the Atlanta pod meetup, and then I went to Podfest and I came back. But I already fucking love this girl. Like I fucking support everything she's doing, and hopefully she'll show up to the Atlanta meetup in February because she missed in January, so that I can finally see her. Because how the fuck are we in Atlanta and we're not seeing each other, right? So let me go ahead and bring on DJ. Welcome to Shit Happens.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Thank you for saying yes, because I know, I know. Initially, I was the one supposed to be coming to your podcast, but you know how shit happens. But I am
Right.
definitely coming to yours because I have stories. Like I have stories.
I want to hear them, so I'm excited.
How you doing, baby?
My week has been hell too, actually. I've had a pretty tough ass week. So I am happy it's Saturday. After our podcast, I'm fucking going to sleep too. So I just want
Uh, And it's funny because everybody who I've interacted with this week, they're like, yo, I'm just glad the week is over. Yo, I'm just glad I made
Right.
it to the week. Like, it's been one of those weeks where it just drained you, whether workload, personal shit, life, family, friends, community, whatever. There's something that just drained the fuck out of you.
Facts. I had the same kind of week.
But
It,
you
it,
just had I believe you just had your Valentine events, right?
wait, say that one more time.
You just had your Valentine's event. Didn't you have an
I
event?
didn't know, so I wasn't able to throw a Valentine's event this year, which I hate. But I'm getting set up. So I got another partnership with the JB's Bar and Grill in Forest Park. I'm gonna be doing weekly singles events, so I'm gonna make up for that. But no, this week was hell. Like I'm glad I didn't because just I'll have a child too, so just all of that. Just it was a bad week.
It be too much. It be too
It
much.
do, it do.
And people forget that we as podcasters or content creators, we're still not making the money people assume we are. Everything we are
Right.
doing by ourselves, we are creating a place
Right.
that we can finally start making the money. But that process is draining. To have to show up on something that's not giving you back financially, but you gotta put in so much finances into it.
Oh my God. Girl, you girl. Yeah, that's something that I'm going through right now. And kind of like what you said, everybody think that you just have it. And it's like I'm not there yet. Not yet.
It
So
might look like it. I just put a lot into it. Like I gotta work a fucking job that I don't like so that it can support all the shit that I wanna
right.
do so I can end up doing them and have them support me. Like it's a whole process. So kudos for you because I know
Thank
you
you.
have a full-time job, you have a child, and you do this and you do it amazingly because you're all
Thank
over my
you.
social media and it takes a lot. So
It does.
pat yourself. Like we see you, we acknowledge you, and we're proud of you. And in
Thank
any way
you.
that we're gonna support, I got you, girl. You know
Thank
that.
you.
So you have a dating app and you're all about
I
love. So I'm
yes.
curious, as you yourself, because you get to interview people, so I don't think people get to share your story as much.
Not as
Uh,
much.
yeah, I want to get into your dating app and everything, but I also want to get into your dating life in Atlanta, because God, I know how dating can be in Atlanta, God. So,
Y'all,
what was your process until you decided, like, fuck it, I'm gonna make my own dating app? Because you gotta
okay.
go through shit for you to decide to
You
say,
You do. So I'll share a little bit of my story. I'm not dating right now. Like I've had I had to take a pause because I'm still kind of going through my own like self-discovery journey. It's been some years now, but I'll kind of go into how the app came about because it's a long story. So I had an ex who
We all had one of those who
we all
kind
had
of brought some.
I had an ex who really he rung me through the ringer. We'll put it that way. Like, but during the relationship, um, I would try to get him to take different tests, like love language tests. There was an emotional intelligence test. I tried to get
And he
him to
was
take,
doing that because I'm trying to imagine our black men trying to get to do them tests.
and he didn't do not nail one, girl, not nail freaking one, right? Um, he didn't do it, and then eventually it got to the point where he ended up breaking up with me. And um this breakup hurt it really bad because I was somebody in the past that made myself super resourceful. So that means I poured myself into relationships. And then once I got tired, I moved on. Like nobody ever
Okay.
broke up. Right. Nobody ever broke up with me per se. But this guy did. And it forced me to kind of look at myself. So I started digging into different things like learning about attachment theory, learning about emotional intelligence, learning about all of these things. And what ties back to the dating app was, yo, it'd be dope. My first initial intention was, yo, it'd be dope if I can trick these dudes into taking these these tests because they were not taking it. I was like, it makes sense. Put it on a dating app. You know, they have to match with somebody in order for you to even message that girl that you like. You gotta take a test. She need to know where you at mentally. So that was my first intention. But then as I grew and as I learned more about emotional intelligence, attachment theory, um, my own toxic dating cycles, why I picked the men that I picked, all of that stuff, that intention grew into wanting to help other people become more self-aware of their toxic dating traits. And the podcast came about, and now that's my goal now, not just trying to trick men into
I,
taking
I, I,
tests.
I would have loved to see you accomplish that because boys, this man, every time you start talking, like I know there would be like 1 in 100 who would take the test, but trying to
Yeah,
get 100.
right. Nah, but I'm like, I know if a dude want to match with a girl, he'll take a quick test, and if you make it interesting with scenarios, they'll do it. So that was my original idea. But yeah, trying to get that guy that I was dating to take different tests, it was a hell nah. I think one of the love language tests I showed him, it was like pink and whatever, and he was like, "This looks like some girly ass shit." It was just really. So no, I wasn't successful.
Because you
Um,
remember, sorry, because you remember back in the days when this was when I actually used to buy magazines, those gossip like US
mhm,
Weekly and everything,
yup,
and you always look forward into those tests to answer, and then
right.
every guy would be like, "Oh, you're doing that trashy magazine test, aren't you? Like, oh, is that from that trashy magazine test?"
Yes, I remember that.
So, what got you like into getting your dude to do tests? Like, why did you want to do this test with your man? Like, because not a lot of women are out here trying to have these men do some
Yeah,
in
like
relationships to do this
it's some.
test, right?
So the first test came about. So for the dude, I was actually doing his college schoolwork, and it was right, and it was a
You
psych
are in
class.
love, girl.
Girl, oh girl, yeah, I was doing a lot, the most. And he had a psych class, and in this class, they had to take an emotional intelligence test to see kind of where they were. I took it, and then I was like, okay, you should take it because I mean, because started understanding like, okay, yeah, you could be smart like on a logical level, like on an IQ level, but your EQ could be super low. And that's what I used to think of him back then. Now I think everything is low now that I've grown. But and that's how it kind of started. And then I was talking to my sister. I hate to put her out there like that. I was talking with my sister, and she ended up having a situation where she ended up taking it. And she thought her EQ would be super high, and it wasn't. So she was talking to me about a particular situation that happened to her personally, and then it just clicked. Like it would be dope if I could create a dating app that incorporated these different tests so people can know where they are. So it started off with just the emotional intelligence one, and then it grew into love languages, and then it grew into attachment theory, and then it grew into I also have a sexual compatibility game also in there as well. So people can kind of see where they're at sexually and where the people they're matching with are at sexually too. Cause I'm big on that. Like if you went to BDSM and you went to so I need to know beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Let me
Exactly.
see if we that's
If,
just
if
my
if you
opinion.
go both ways, let me know. I don't wanna be halfway already into you, then you're coming with me with some bullshit. Cause baby,
Right. You know what I'm
this
saying? Or
this these days I tell men I'ma sue the fuck out of you for wasting my time. Like put it out there. Like don't give me no bullshit. But
right.
aren't you white? First of all, I wanna say you should have gone to his fucking university, school, whatever, and asked for a degree because you graduated on behalf of that motherfucker.
He
I'm just saying
he
that
really
was your that was
right.
your
Right. That was my damn degree. At least for the first year. I think he went for a bachelor's. I think he ended up only getting an associate's because I think I helped him for the first full year. And then after he broke up with me,
of
that
course,
was something he
because
was trying to get me to do, but it was just like no. But yeah. Yeah, he got his
yeah, because
associate's. Yeah.
his helper was no longer there. Like you were doing all the work. So, but also, aren't you worried? Because I know these men lie. Even in this dating apps, I've encountered people where I read their bios and they're talking about I'm ready to settle and shit, and then you meet them and they're like talking about I want to take it slow. I'm not ready. I'm like, excuse me, that's not what your bio
It was
literally say. Like I wouldn't have come out if I knew you were still not sure, or I would have come out
right.
with a mindset of, oh, I'm just gonna go have fun. But so aren't you why like weren't you concerned that they're still gonna lie on this test just to get, especially on the sexual side? You know how men want to put their game on a all
Mm-hmm.
level instead of actually being truthful, so you can get a partner who
Yeah.
can.
Absolutely. I agree. So on the test that I have, there's different scenarios. So and some of the scenarios are kind of tricky where you can't just lie and then you'll automatically get like this great score of like, okay, let's say for the anxious attachment theory compatibility game. You might be thinking you answering all the right ways to the questions, and then you don't come out with a oh, I'm a securely attached person. You might come out with oh, you anxious. And with anxious people, they're clingy, they do crazy ass shit in relationship. Like you, so there's no point of lying like on my app because you don't know where the answers will fall. Unless you know about attachment theory, unless you know about emotional intelligence. So,
Which most
um,
of them don't.
right. So you will screw yourself. Okay. Uh,
And
you
you
know,
get a test and you'll be like, what the
right.
fuck?
You
Because
know what I'm
you
saying?
fucking lied.
Right. So yeah, it wouldn't be smart to do that. Not on mine anyway.
I like that you incorporated the emotional attachment because these are real things that people really don't talk about them. And
Mm-hmm.
even when you talked about taking time off, my last ex, like I have gone on dates, I have had situationships, but
Yeah.
to say I've been in a relationship, I haven't been in a relationship since 2020 when I broke up with my ex.
Same.
And because I kind of jumped into something and then I realized I'm not ready and I was gonna go end up cheating because my ex started hitting me up and I was very comfortable entertaining him. I was like, I'm too grown to be cheating and
Yeah.
doing all this. This just shows that I am not ready. And that's when I started to be like, let me just work on myself and take a step back. Like I can find boys to have fun with, but
Right. And
to
just
be
and
in a, yeah, I was like I'm not ready, and now that I've kind of done some work, I'm like you have to be something extra special for me to even actually entertain being in a relationship with you because I've done work. I know what I fucking want, and I think that's the beauty of actually taking time off. Because again, back in the days, I used to just jump from relationship to relationship because
relation
I didn't want to be alone. I didn't like that thought of being alone. I
very
was, yeah.
very
So
similar. I think
yeah, so it was like to the extent that you don't even know, even if you're living these relationships and even if this man done some shit, something is also not working with you for you to constantly be in a relationship, but you're constantly not in those relationships. I was like, always blame it on them, but I also have to point the finger and look in myself like, what do I actually want? Do I even know what I want? Or because the guy was cute and he said the right things, and then
Right.
the dick game was good, and now I'm in this shit because I mean, dickmatize is a real thing, y'all. I'm just saying, like, so, so I needed to cut that circle and really work on myself to be able to know who am I, what do I
Right.
want out of a relationship with somebody, and to also be comfortable being alone. Because I think sometimes we jump into relationships because we are not comfortable being alone. We don't like being alone. And people, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. People assume just because you're alone, you're lonely. Bitch, no, I like my company. Like, I'd rather be by myself than be with, because you can be with somebody and in a group of people and still be lonely
Still
because
lonely.
they're not the right people for you.
Absolutely. You hit something on the nail. I know for me, like I was in like long-term relationships, like the different relationships I had, but I didn't know my why. So I thought I knew what I wanted because society will tell you, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you should want. And then I never discovered why I wanted those things. So that's kind of why I'm still on my break too, is because okay, I want this long-term relationship and then I gotta dig into the why, like why do I want it? And for me, it's really learning like about myself. Okay, I'm business oriented, so I want somebody who's also business oriented. I need somebody who's somewhat, at least somewhat ambitious, because you can't. At first, I thought I wanted somebody all up under me. Now I know I don't want that shit.
Nope,
Experiencing that, you know what I'm
that's a
saying?
child.
Right, right. And I had to learn that the hard way too, like thinking like that's probably the only type of man I could be with and it be a long-term relationship. So really ironing out like not just your want, but then also your why as to what you want. And then just trial and error and really nailing down what you need and then just going to find that person. So eventually I'm gonna get back out there in the dating scene because I know everybody keeps talking about how hard it is, which it is.
It
But
is like it's
I
trash out here. It's trash. It's trash, but that doesn't mean you should stay with somebody who's not right for you. I rather
right.
you be out here than sticking to somebody just because out here is hard. But your why is really important. And I was telling people, like, my friends, when they come to me and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm this age and I'm not married. I'm 35 and I'm not even thinking about marriage." Because
See,
you have to be very, because marriage is tough, relationships are hard. I'm not going to be quick to jump into a marriage when we can't even figure out relationship. So when
right,
people come to me and tell me, "Oh, I want to get married," and I ask them why, "Oh, because I'm 35, or because it's the time." No, then you shouldn't be getting married. If that's your why you want to get married,
right.
that's not gonna work, because anybody who's gonna come and propose to you, you're just gonna say yes, even if they're not the right person for you. And I think that's why we have so many divorces going on, because people were getting married because society said you go to school, you find your person, you get married, but sometimes it's not even your person because you're just dating them and you're just waiting for that ring. Like, oh,
Right.
I've already invested 3 years, so I should get a ring. No. And then, and then all because of the society. I remember when my friends started getting married, right? There were
Mhm.
all this, welcome to the club. Now you're in the club. So now we all want this feeling of belonging somewhere,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Like, that's why we join communities, podcasting communities. That's why we join all these things, because there's something about belonging in a community or a club. So everybody wanted to jump into the wifey club, the husband club, so people are getting married. Literally, you're getting married today, and then the next week, your husband is in my DMs, and you're out here telling people proudly, "I'm married."
Yeah, see, and that's people who are desperate in that way. And this is something I had to learn for myself. Like you desperate to be in a relationship and you get into this relationship and people dragging you through the mud as well. Some people will stay just to save face. You know, that's something I also had to get over for myself. Like relationship was straight trash and just stayed for a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Either because they don't want to be alone, or sometimes, comfortability. We get so much comfortable. We like the lifestyle. We like the routine. So you don't want to disrupt that. There are people they're also used to like, oh my God, if I leave, I have to pay everything by myself, especially if people are already living together
Yeah.
and things are hard. So they're thinking, no. Also, because we had, for those people who got married, we had so much shame in divorce, right? But
Right.
in the beginning, especially me coming from Africa, like there's a lot of shame if
Yeah.
you get divorced. So people also scared to leave because, oh my God, people are gonna think I failed because I'm getting
Yep.
divorced. I'm a fail. So I really don't blame them, but that's why I like when we have this conversation so people can be like, yo, fuck that society, fuck
Right.
whatever. Do what's best for you because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with yourself. And I realized once I started working on myself, I realized how much important and how much I enjoy being in a peaceful state of mind. Once I knew,
That's
I was
it.
like, nobody's coming to disrupt my peace. I don't
That's
care who
it.
you are. Like, and when you're in that place, nobody can phase you. But
That's
then
it.
you also did mention something about knowing your why and finding your person. I always tell people because uh, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've been blessed that most of my exes were very financially
Okay.
incredible. But
Okay.
that
Awesome.
didn't mean also they were not assholes. So that's what the thought was like. I'm not sure if I really want a person who's already rich because they kind of treat you like, and they want to take credit for every little thing they help you, even though it's coming out of love or anything. And I also don't want like I was saying people I don't mind dating somebody who's broke because I am not there yet. But as long as they have the mentality of hustling, of wanting a better life for themselves. Because I want a big life. Like I want to be traveling the world and
Right.
living large and everything. So if you're not wanting that lifestyle, don't come and talk to me, please. Because
That's
I
what
don't care right now where you are. I care about where you wanna be and what you're doing to get there.
at that part, what you just said, what you doing right now. I remember I was talking to another guy who, was talking about how women nowadays don't want to deal with the man who's broke or who's quote unquote building. But I know one mistake that I would make, I would get with guys with the kind of like with the mentality, I don't care how much money they make out this, that, and the third. And I would get with these guys and they would say, oh well, I want to start a business or I want to start the real vague stuff. And then me, I would jump in and be like, well, this is what you do. And then I'm building the boat and they're kind of sitting back, not doing anything.
I
Like
know.
the guy really needs to be, he already needs to have momentum. Like, don't get fooled by that. And then on top of that,
Yeah,
I know
because once
now,
are words, we can all dream about I wanna do this, I wanna do this, but what are you doing to do that?
right. And I know a lot of women, me included in the past, like I had this issue with I have to prove myself because that's what I thought love meant, for you to prove that
Hmm.
you can be this, you the top girl who can pull all the resources and do all the things. And then in reality, it's that man wasn't looking for that for real. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Not in a relationship aspect.
no.
So that's something else I had to learn too, like to learn to just sit back and just be and be myself and not be myself in a way of just overdoing.
That's so true.
So
And I saw a post recently that saying anybody who comes out of a relationship, especially a long time relationship, should go to therapy before they date somebody. And I think that's true because we really need to look into ourselves to understand and see what we need. Because sometimes the things that we were doing were the reason that these men were acting how they were
right,
because we were letting them be like that without ourselves knowing. So it takes working on yourself to have these realizations of, oh shit, I was doing this. Oh shit, I didn't do
right.
this. Like I have a friend, and not to put anybody's business out there, but I have a friend, right? And she's a hustler. Like me and her, whenever we meet her, like yes, we'll gossip, we'll catch up, we'll have a good time, but we'll always talk business and give each other ideas and collaborate. She puts me on, I put her on. Like our conversations never end without that. And then
Hmm.
there's this guy who they're kind of working it out, and the guy was saying what he wanted to do, but he wasn't doing shit to do that. And this guy likes to travel. She has been to Greece. She goes here. She goes
Wow.
here.
Okay.
She leaves the country. This guy has never even left the state. And and all these things, right? And
Hmm.
he would say he wants to do this, 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 and the guy would literally help her. Like, okay, I got this. You want to do this? And you still, nah, not today. Nah, nah, nah. So she ended up chucking the dude, right? But me and
Hmm.
the dude are also friends. So one time he came to me and I was like, you know what? Sometimes it's okay to understand, no matter even if you like that person or you want to date the baddest chick or the hottest guy, if your lifestyles don't match, it will never happen.
It's not gonna work.
You can't even leave the city. She
That's
wants to
crazy.
travel the entire world.
Right.
Every birthday vacation, we plan trips. You can't even do that. Do you think your lifestyle will match? She's constantly
Mm.
on the go, hustling, trying to make life. And you go to your nine to five, and then you're home smoking your weed, playing games. And nobody got
Yeah.
time for that. I'm like, look, and that's okay. There's nothing bad about that. Just look for a guy who's less ambitious, who that will match your lifestyle. Because
Right.
sometimes that's why even I hated when guys would say, "Oh, she's a gold digger." No, she wants a man to take care of her, and she has the right to choose that lifestyle. Just because you don't want to do it or you can't afford to do it,
Right.
doesn't mean just leave. Go to a girl who's in your lifestyle,
Right.
in your lane.
Right, because there's despite what social media is saying, there's all levels of females out there. And
Dudes,
I
there are
hate to
dudes
see.
who be getting fed by women and taken care by women, and we don't say shit. But then as soon as a girl does it, oh, she a gold digger. No, she just likes a good lifestyle, and she wants a man to take care of her. What's so bad
Yeah.
about that? Cause here we come again. You're gonna bring that. Oh, if I'm paying all the bills, then a woman should be in the kitchen and shit and all that. So what does that say about you? But then a girl who likes a good lifestyle and a man to take care of her, she a golden. Like just say
Yeah.
she's not on your lane and go find somebody who's on your
That's
lane, and that's
it.
perfectly fine.
That's it.
And also women, date people on your lane. Because I'll be damned if I'm dating somebody who I'm hustling way more than he is. Because
Eh,
first, he's a fucking man. Okay? Men are meant to be hustling. Like men are meant to in reality we were taught men are meant to provide. But now you find women who, well, me, I don't care if you're constantly providing. I don't mind chipping in. Like whenever we have those discussion of 50-50 or whatever, it's whatever we decide. Don't let the society tell you, oh, your man should pay all the bills and everything. You find a man. If that's the man you want, go find that. If you're
Right.
okay with paying 50-50 with your man, go do that. Like, and that's the beauty about relationship. You can make it whatever you want to
Absolutely.
cater to you and your needs. So I'm like, if I'm hustling more and I'm getting drained working 9 to 5 on a job I hate just so it can pay my bills and also help me build this brand I'm building and this
Right.
business I'm building, and you ain't doing shit, we can't be together. I'm sorry. Don't even talk to me.
Yeah, that's something I had to learn the hard way. Was not matching up with people who wasn't doing as much as I was doing, but then also was expecting me to push them up, elevate them up in some type of way. Even when it came down to just pouring in a whole bunch of time into them. Like I said, somebody who don't got too much going on and then they just too
You
clingy. I had
you
to
are
learn
being
that.
their mama and not their
Right.
girlfriend.
Right. That I ain't gonna lie. That's what I was for a very long time. Somebody mama. It was terrible.
And I'm too grown to be somebody's mama. Like I still go to my dad for him to baby me. I can't baby. I will baby you if I see you putting in the work. Because that's how love is. We're supposed to pour on each other. But I'm not gonna pour on you if you're not doing shit. I'm sorry. But if you're doing shit, I will be your fucking mother. If I see you grinding and
Right.
hustling and building, I'll be your mother. I'll be your whatever you need me to be. I will be.
I feel that. You said something though, like I feel kind of affects like women. Like, okay, you said you could still go to your daddy and he can help you, right? Or and you can I know that's something I didn't have per se. My dad was there, but I didn't have that strong rapport with my dad. My dad wasn't that type of father. So subconsciously, I would get with guys who were super dismissive, similar to him, and I found myself trying to prove myself. I am worthy of this love that I'm trying to get from somewhere because I wasn't getting it from home.
But
So
believe it or not, even for me who had my dad available, which I'm very grateful, and I tell this to a lot of people, like I battle with depression, and
yeah,
I have thought about suicide. The only reason I've never done it is because I don't want to put my dad through that. Like, I can literally call my dad and talk about anything and everything, and he'll find a way to help me, even if he doesn't have it right there. So for me,
Okay.
that is like, why put your father through this when you know you have that? Because some people don't have that. So sometimes that's the reminder I need. But that doesn't mean in relationship wise I didn't have daddy issues as well. People assume that when you have your father full time you don't have daddy issues,
Mm,
but they come in different ways. So my daddy
yeah.
issues are, no offense, I hope my dad never listens to this, but my dad, and he knows it is, it's much a softer person. But he got into marriage and having kids at a younger age, so I don't blame him, right? And when you're a kid, you don't understand, but once you start growing up and actually going through stuff yourself, you get it, and you actually start having those conversations. Because when you're a kid, you just get angry and mad, and they
Yeah.
can't really talk to you to explain because you're a child. So my dad was an asshole growing up, but he loved me.
Got you.
Like, he was an asshole, but I was always on his side, right? And
Got you.
I was his ride or die. Like, when you talk about ride or die, he was my ride or die. Like, no
That's
matter
up.
what, I know my dad is an asshole, but I'm a ride with him, kind of shit. And he didn't do my mom right. And me and my mom have a very fucked up relationship, but she's
Okay.
still alive, and I'm blessed to have her. However fucked up our relationship is. So all the men I ended up dating, especially this last one, the one in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, his birthday was yesterday, and he kept, this whole week has been blowing up my phone.
Oh my God.
But yeah, literally, and gone on my Facebook and even left messages. Call me, call me, call me, call me.
Oh my God.
And him and my dad get along so well because their characters. So I dated people who
Mm.
had my dad's characters, but then they also ended up being assholes. So daddy issues still was there for me. Okay, if that
I
makes
feel
you
you.
feel
I
a little
feel you.
better.
I feel you. No,
For
I
some
feel
reason,
you.
and even my friends told me, they're like, Paul, your exes, when we look like, they have similar features, but they don't all look alike. Some are tall, some are short, like not short, but like most of them are on 6 feet. Like, I like dating men who are 6 feet because I wear
Mm,
heels all the time and shit. But I've dated on 5 feet, right? And
mm.
some have been like, I used to be like, I want that hot guy, but now for some reason I'm into dad boards. Like, give me a dad board. Like,
I know.
give
Me
me.
too,
I
girl. I need something.
growing up makes you, yeah.
I need something
Like,
for me. I need something that I can grab for real. You
like
know what
when I
I'm saying?
cuddle with you, I don't want to feel
Yeah.
the bonds. I want to just feel a
Right.
cushion. Like,
Yes.
so, so my friends are like, you have a type. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't think I have a type. And I'm trying here to show all the my pictures of all my exes. They look not similar wise, but character wise, you fucking have a type. All your exes are sweet and nice, but they're also fucking assholes. And I'm like, I know. I don't know why I keep picking assholes. So there we go.
Okay, got you.
Now let's take it back, because
Okay.
before we end, I want to make sure we talk about your app. So
Okay.
share a little bit more about playing for Keeps Up, because I haven't checked it out yet. Because
Oh,
um, that's why I haven't
I'm still
applied yet. Because I came back and there was too much going, and I want, when I really sit down to download it, I want to actually be in a mind like, I'm doing this for the right way, and not just doing it to get through it so that I can come on your show,
got you.
kind of thing. So.
No, no, no. You are good. Downloads right at the stage that I'm at right now. Downloading and creating a profile is helpful to me anyway because I'm building and I'm pushing out marketing. And the more people that's on the app in Atlanta, as people get find it through marketing and download it, it's gonna help push the algorithm up in
Oh,
the
then I'm
stores
definitely
anyway.
downloading it right after
Yeah,
this
so
conversation.
yeah,
Okay.
so that helps me anyway. But a little bit about the app, kind of like what I was explaining. So when two people actually match, they have to play a game before they could message each other. So I'm only looking for not me looking. People who are intentional are only going to be interested in my app. So you can't just swipe and then when y'all match, y'all can just go to message each other, get y'all phone numbers. No, you have to play a game. I got four different types of games. So one is based on attachment theory. So we all have an attachment style, and it's developed and cultivated like as soon as we're like months um into growing up. And there's four different types. I won't get too much into it, but there's the anxiously attached, there's the dismissive avoidant, there's the fearful avoidant, and then there's the securely attached. So that's one compatibility game. Then I have one based on emotional intelligence. You play the scenario game with your match, and you can see if the person is low, middle, or high in emotional intelligence. Then I have the sexual compatibility game that two people can play, and it's kind of based on like your sexual style. So if you're somebody who's like super adventurous, there's kind of a score for that. If you're somebody who's adaptable, like you kind of go with the flow of whoever you're with, there's a
Open
score for
minded.
that. Yeah, open minded. And then there's also somebody who's like real reserved, kind of into
Vanilla,
lady
baby.
centric. Yeah, you will fall into a certain category. And then lastly, there's like I call it the love styles, but it's basically just showing you through different scenario type questions what your love language is. So you pick one game, and for each game, there's 5 questions. So you answer the 5 questions, your match has to answer the 5 questions, and then a compatibility score pops up, and then y'all can message each other just like any other dating app. And then I have the podcast, which we briefly spoke about within the app, or I have people all over Atlanta. They come on, they tell a funny, crazy, or lesson learned dating story, and we'll dive into the story to get the lessons out of the story. And then I also invite therapists and dating coaches to come on the show as well so they can give us advice and tips on just how to end our toxic dating cycles here. So,
I, I have an incredible dating story that I can't wait to come and share in your app because,
ooh.
baby, baby, I just know because you do in person and your studio is in, where is it
Decatur.
located?
It's in Decatur, Georgia.
Yeah, I think that was the reason where I was like, let me actually find a time because I don't drive and I live in Sandy
Got
Springs, so I was like, I need to make sure I can find an actual time with the actual finances to make it because Ubering to Decatur
yeah,
ain't
that's
cheap.
far. I got you.
But I definitely want because it's interesting. It's funny how big yet small Atlanta is because I saw what was that boy's name? Vigilant.
Oh, Vigilante, he came on my own podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I saw, I was like, oh damn, they know each other because I previously met him last year. And
Mm.
good luck to any women who are dating that guy. I say this to them in the most nicest way. Like I like how very open he is about what he wants and everything. But it could never be me. Like I don't see myself.
He yeah, he's very strong on his opinions when it comes to the high value man and stuff like that. As a person, he
As a
I only
person, is
got
an
to meet him.
amazing.
Yes, what I've gathered and what I've learned from him. But yeah, relationship wise, views are very,
Yeah.
very, very different. But he,
Because we used to talk as well, like we would chat because we were supposed to come on my podcast. But even just a normal conversation, that man can literally. I'm like, you're exhausting me. Like you are exhausting. But shout out to you, Vigilante. I
oh
love you.
my god,
Right?
no,
But that's what I'm saying. Shout out to any girl who's and literally one time I asked him something. I was like, "Oh, I always have girls around me. I'm
yeah,
not the one
yeah,
girl kind of guy." I was like, "Good for
yeah.
you. Good for you."
Yeah, he definitely went into more in depth on my podcast about that. I
Mm,
think our episode was like 2 hours and like 5 minutes. It was a long episode. But like I said, no, he personally, from what I know, he very cool. But yeah, the outlooks on relationships and kind of how he would want his structure is
he
very
has that
different. Yeah,
masculinity strong
yeah,
opinion,
yeah, he
which
does.
I know I don't like dealing with. I don't mind men being masculine like you can be, but I need you to be flexible because I'm coming to you with my experience and you're still gonna find a way
Right.
to kind of
Yeah,
downplay that. I'm like, nah,
yeah.
we ain't about to do this. But I love him and he's doing amazing things in Atlanta. Like shout out to black men, even black women who are out here just doing the damn
Doing
thing.
it. Right.
Like, go ahead, right? So, with that said, right, you also have a game show coming out. You want to
I
share a bit about that?
do. Okay, so I am still looking for men and women to sign up for my dating game show, where basically we'll match two people, or even if you just starting to talk to somebody and you want to get to know them on a deeper level. So the dating game show that I have is kind of a card game that I've created, where two people get together and they play this quick card game. It probably will take about 20-30 minutes, and you'll get to know the person on a deeper level than you probably would on a first date. And after the game, if you like the person, we will pay for your first date. So that's a little bit about the dating game show. I've had plenty of women sign up. I think I've only had maybe one or two men, and that's unequally
Are there
balanced as
specific
it
men you're
is.
looking for, or any?
So, so any,
Let
I know
the
that I
people
have
know so
one.
that they can.
Right.
I did some work for you. I thought I found the perfect person for you, but then he's kind of still. I'm trying to still smooth him over because
Oh.
he is African old school, so that could also be very
Mm.
tricky with
Right. Well, especially with it being like a show and all of that.
yeah,
I get that.
but he really is looking to not just date, but he wants a wife. Like, he's like, right now his intention is, I'm dating with a purpose. I want to get married. I want a wife. I'm not dating for dating. So
He would love the dating game show because yes, you on camera, but you gonna dig in and find out if this person is for you and if you wanna
yeah, no
move
time
forward.
wasted, and you get a free first
Right,
date.
right. You don't
Wait,
have to.
do people pick the place, or you guys pick the place? Because this is something.
I got one restaurant that I have on board, but I also will give a gift
Cheesecake
card.
Factory.
Ma'am.
Listen, I love cheesecake. I was looking at that girl like, please don't make men think
Right.
we are all this stupid and crazy out here. Cause
I
have you had the calamari at Cheesecake Factory? Have you had the
You
cocktails at
spending
Cheesecake
money.
Factory? Yo, bro, and it's not that cheap. Like, cheesecake is not cheap, okay?
No, it's not at all. So
He
now
was
I
just
let
doing
people
too much, especially for fucking first dates. Like, I would have taken you for coffee.
w-
Actually, a walk in the park. You know, people go for a walk in the park as
yes.
first date.
I like that actually. Personally, I like walks in the parks and coffee because
Just not
I
hikes. Because
yeah, no,
people
no
were
take me
getting
on a hike.
killed. Yeah, people were
That
getting killed and disappearing. But
right. Yeah, just don't do that. I'm also too big to be hiking. I'm not trying to hike.
I don't like hiking. Every time I read on a
Yeah.
profile, somebody says hiking, or
Mm-mm.
they go to the gym 5 times a week, or they have too many gym pictures. I know you're gonna tell me one time to be like, you don't even go to the gym with me. Or anytime I complain about a weight or something, that's why you should go to the gym with me. So no, we're not about to do that. I ain't swiping on you. I'm sorry. I will
Big
enjoy
fact.
your gym pictures, but no.
I feel that.
But sorry, continue. The men you're
No,
looking for your dating
all
show.
all types of men. As you pointed out, I have one guest who went ahead and filled out the form. She is looking for an African king, okay? Somebody who is from Africa who has, I guess who has the values and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's what she's looking for. I think she anywhere between um I think it's 30s to 40s. So anywhere in there, maybe mid 40s if I'm remembering right. That's the only one that's specific, but everything else is free range, free game. I'm trying to match people. And like I say, if you got somebody that you kind of know already and you want to get to know them deeper, hit me up. I can set up a time for us to have y'all play this game. So
Man, don't be out here saying it's hard on the streets. You have somebody who's willing to do the job for you and
that's
make it
right.
easier. And to my African kings, there's a woman who's seeking you all out there. So go do the damn thing.
Right.
And it's fun. I feel like, at one point, right? This is no offense, but it's just the reality of life. We as Africans were being looked at some type of way, and then now, since most of the housewives have started dating African
Oh,
men, like, there was a way. So now everybody wants be wanting an African. We
Yo, I
went from
noticed that.
we went from being less quiet on to now being the I want me an African man. Like the amount of friends who I have who are dating African men is ridiculous. And 2 days ago, one of them posted something, right?
Mhm.
Actually, it was posted on Shade Room, and she reposted it, and I laughed. She was like, "This is me." Like they're talking about me because she now dates a Nigerian man. But you know how people are not listening to Afrobeats, and then she's like,
Yo,
the meme was
everybody's listening.
like if you hear me playing and constantly listen to Afro, just know I am fucking an African man, and now I'm in this for real. I'm like, okay, go ahead, girl.
That's fine. I love my Nigerian brothers and sisters. I didn't have a good experience in the past, so I have a little PTSD personally. Um, that's just me though.
You
So,
know, and that's the thing, like with Nigerians specifically, because I went to school in Malaysia and I hanged out a lot with Nigerians. There's so many
mm,
there, so I got to experience most the good, the bad, the ugly.
yeah. Oh,
And when I was coming from UK, we had a group of Nigerian friends there, but these were like, you know, the high class Nigerians who went to good
mm,
schools, they're Muslim families, they have money, and they really do their religion serious like Islam. So they don't drink as much, they don't party as much, but they rent cinemas. Like they will rent a cinema in the movie theater for the whole day, and we just go
oh
in there and
wow.
watch movies. They'll even buy the VIP section in a club and other things because they know we drink, but they would. But they were nicer. So when I left that mentality, because I left UK going to Malaysia, I went thinking that all Nigerians are amazing because that's the Nigerians I experienced there. And then
Yeah.
I went to Malaysia and I got bombarded with scammers, the lovers, the
Right.
cheaters, the kind-hearted, the good souls, all types, all types. And then when I came to America, I was like, I ain't fucking chilling with Nigerians anymore. And especially when I hear, oh yeah, Paula, there's this Nigerian I met and he was in Malaysia. I'm like, don't talk about me, don't ask me, and don't ever put me in the same area with them because I'm
Right.
running away from all the Nigerians I met in Malaysia. No
Okay.
offense. I love you all, but I want to love you all from afar.
Okay. So you can relate a little bit. Yeah, I
And
didn't
it's
have.
nothing personal. And
Yeah.
even in Malaysia, they started being racist to Africans because of the things Nigerians were doing. So Nigerians makes all these people hate Africans because also I hate when people consider Africa like a country, but it's a continent. So don't tell us all Africans are the same because no, call Nigerians. That's West, I'm Tanzanian, that's East. Like we are fucking different. We don't talk the same
Right.
language. We're in different sides. And don't include me, but sadly that's the world we live in. And but
Right.
any country you're gonna go, you're gonna experience the good people, the bad people. Like I lived in UK. I experienced more love outside of London than London. I hated London and I grew up in London and people were mean. People were sad. It was literally a
Wow.
depressing city. I went to France. I hated Paris because people were just mean and rude. But then I went to Toulouse, south of France, and people were nice and welcoming. And I had a good experience that we have friends with cafe owners on Facebook who they keep on messaging us, when are you coming back? So I feel like every place, they're always gonna be you remember that saying, the rotten apple, the original apple, and
Yeah,
the
and the it's
yeah.
something
So
like that. I think.
yeah, just like in your family, like there's gonna be that one child who's very good and that one child who's the
Mhm.
rotten, like so it is what it is. You gotta take the good and just fuck off the bad.
Facts.
But
That's
I
right.
get it giving you PTSD depending on the experience you've had, right? It affects differently and works itself differently. So
It's something I would try again though. Like I just after that I ain't had no opportunity. And then when I do, I think I did. Like I almost met somebody else off of the dating app that was Nigerian, and then I changed my mind because
so
I was like, I don't
I
know.
are you gonna use your own dating app once you decide to come back?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I got to test it out and test it out more with the people and get thoughts and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think so. I'm
And
on
how
there now. I'm on there now.
I mean, you have to because it's just to kind of just feel I'm on every dating app, but am I dating? No, really. Actually, I use my dating apps to promote my podcast, and I also get um I get a lot of listeners, also guests to come on my show because of my dating app. And people
Ooh,
people were literally thinking I was joking until I started screenshotting and showing. They're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from what? If I'm
I
already
need to
on
get
these
with
dating apps and I'm not meeting people, might as well promote my fucking podcast."
I need to get with you on that because somebody else was telling me that. I was like, nah, that seems kind of shady. But you know what? I don't
Nah,
give a damn.
baby, nah, baby. Like half of the shit, like Bumble used to be much better than Tinder, and okay, Inge used to be better, but now I feel like all of them are just the fucking same. So, I mean,
Damn.
if I meet a connection, cool. And I've met people who it wasn't a love connection, but it was a deeper connection of friendship or working together or collaborating together. So these days, I just leave it in there for whatever connection it brings me because I am
Facts.
literally not seeking love. I want love to find me. I feel like when God thinks I'm ready for that person, they'll bring to me. But until now, I'm just having fun and using the app for whatever fucking I want to use it for, which is promoting my podcast.
I feel that. I do.
Yep. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta market it anywhere, anyhow, whatever places you can. So go put yourself on those dating apps and promote your fucking. And actually, you have a podcast and a dating app. You
Right.
can promote those to make people know that if this app ain't working for you, I know the app that will work for you.
Facts. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be bold today and do that. That's gonna be another project I'm gonna do once I
You
get off
see,
here.
we have each other. I have to go download your app and get myself in there, and you have to go download all those apps and get your podcast in there. There you go.
Right. Period.
We have Ildi here. Hi, Ildi. Oh my God, I owe Ildi a call. To know Paula is to love. Oh my God.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much. So before we come to an end of this, right? Um, you were talking about heal the inner child, check their ego, and take accountability for their toxic dating
Yeah.
cycles. So, why is that so important? Because most people really don't care when they create dating apps or are trying to actually date people. They think about the dollar signs. They don't
Yeah.
care about, like, you don't see people talking about healing your inner child in a dating app or all that. So, why was those three things important for you, especially with your upcoming game show?
Got you. So, for me, like I said, the dudes would drag me through the ringer, okay? And for the longest, I didn't put two and two together that it had a lot to do with my childhood, a lot to do with the my mother and my father wounds, things that I saw that I thought relationships were supposed to be. So I didn't put those two things together until I got hurt, and I feel like a lot of us don't, right? And we're constantly complaining about, oh, the dating pool has pee in it, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, we have to be accountable for what we do and how we played in the relationships as well. And majority of the time when we do that, whether you're the good person or the bad person or whatever, because I know for me, like I said, I was the one always doing in the relationship. So I thought, well, I'm the good girl. You know what I'm saying? But for me, the deeper lesson was, okay, but you didn't have to be the good girl to those people.
You're
You know
just
what I'm saying?
feeding, yes.
Yeah, and being mistreated. But due to my childhood and watching my mother and father relationship dynamic, I thought that's what I was supposed to do. So I just wanted to bring that out into the world, like as far as, okay, if I can peel back my own layers and learn to heal, because I'm still healing, because there's a lot more to my story. I wanted to help others, and I wanted to help others through the dating app. So, that's kind of my why. Really, just wanted to help people understand that we all play a part in this, and it's not just toxic because of the other person. How can you learn to heal for yourself so you can choose better? You know. So,
And that's the truth. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Because that's why I also decided to take a break and actually work on myself and realize that it can't be all their fault. And that's the thing, whether it's in relationship or friendship. When somebody's always coming, being the person who's arguing with everybody,
right,
you can't blame everybody. You gotta look at yourself like, so even if I'm the one breaking up with them, but why weren't it working? Like I needed to search deeper and find out where am I going wrong? or what am I expecting that I don't know, or who
Mhm.
am I really am, all those things. So I appreciate you doing that, and I'm looking forward to
Thank
checking you out. So thank you
thank
so much for
you.
hanging out with me today. This was so much fun, and I'm definitely gonna have you back because I feel like we have so much more to talk about. But
Yes.
but I will be on your podcast before I have you back. That way we
Okay.
balance and are equal. But before we go, let the people know where they can find you, what they can expect from you. This is the time to share whatever projects you
Got
have or your social medias and how they can connect with you.
got you. So you can find me on all platforms at Playing for Keeps app. That's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, even though I'm not active on there. You can find me on those three platforms mainly. What I got going on right now, I'm always doing podcasts. So if you want to come on my podcast, it is in person. So if you're in Atlanta, you're interested, follow me on Instagram, message me. I'm always responsive in my DMs. And
Cheers.
yes, and then I got the dating game show that I'm still trying to build up and film. So if you're single or maybe you just met somebody and you want a fun activity to do, hit me up as well. That's something that I can coordinate too. So and then also just trying to get the app out there and grow it. So that's what I got going on right now.
Good. So you definitely need to come to this meetup on the 29th so
I
that
will be there.
people can know because I have fun ideas for this meetup since I'm the one hosting it this one. So don't miss it and be on time because
I
once
will.
I finish that round, it's done. Because I want to give people the opportunity to introduce themselves, talk about what they are doing, and ask for what help they need because that's necessary in community. You never know,
Right.
somebody, the help that you need is right there in the room, but because we're not speaking it out, you're not gonna get it. I always say this: closed mouths don't get fed. So that's
That's a
why I'm
fact.
always talking about what I'm going through, what I need help, because somebody out there is listening and will help. So thank you for hanging out with me. By the way, do you people know that when me and her connected, and then she even applied she filled out to come on here. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know what your name is, because she uses. I was like, sorry, but what's your name? Like it was. It's not something you want to ask people. It's like when you had sex with somebody, and then in the morning you're like, oh shit, did we even exchange names?
Right.
So thank you for giving me that moment. But for everybody who was live and watching, thank you for hanging out with us. Hildy, thank you for tuning in. For all those who are going to watch the replay, thank you for watching. And if you know anybody who's single and ready to mingle, and if you know an African king out there
Yes.
who needs that push, because sometimes people, I mean, dating can scar people, right? That's why sometimes we get out of it. So push your friends, like give them a little push and apply for them to come on the game show and have fun.
Yes.
And so until then, I will be back at 6 p.m. with Shannon, and we will be honoring Lee, who we just lost on Valentine's Day. So until then, keep tuning in to Shit Happens where shit always happens.
Peace.